Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wednesday show. Sorry I was gone last week. I was in the hospital for a little while, trying to.
I'm sorry for hosting last week. Don't worry, it won't happen again.
Yeah, so I was in bed for 13 days. I'm still not 100% recovered, but I'm going to do my best for tonight. Of course, I'm joined by my two favorite Wednesday show hosts, Jency Maxey.
Hello.
And the amazing streamer.
Yeah. Hello.
How you doing, Terry?
I'm all right. I was very, very cold, but it seems to have warmed up, getting towards the middle of the day, so it's not quite as cold anymore.
Cool. Jen, how are you?
I'm doing all right. It's still pretty cool here. We're still under the weather here. I'm happy. Don't give us your heat, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's currently 75 degrees Fahrenheit here, so it's pleasant.
Okay.
But I didn't put the air conditioner in the window because I can't lift it at the moment. It's too heavy for me. And it's 87 degrees in the studio.
See, none of these numbers mean anything to me, but I do recognize that 87 is bigger than 75, so I can deduce from that it is hot where you are.
I wish the little app that I have on my desktop that shows the temperature, you can decide whether you want it in Fahrenheit or Celsius, but you can't have it display both. Wish I could display both so I can instantly look like I know what I'm doing.
And KVDM, yes, last week it was on my own channel. It wasn't on the Minions channel because I don't have access to the Minions channel, and I didn't want to bother Reject. Though she did message me during the stream. I said, "Oh, I've already started streaming on my channel. It's fine." But yes, last week the stream was on my channel. I did tweet it out, but yeah, I think most people found it after Hammer, and a couple other people retweeted it.
6, yeah.
Yes, 6 was on there. Adam was on there, and Jen was on there, as you would expect. Yeah, it was a good stream, but yes, I still apologize for daring to stream in the first place. That was a.
I do have
apologize for that.
I do have a copy on my hard drive, so I'm gonna trim up the front to get rid of some dead air and maybe add a little music to it, and it'll be posted on Minions eventually anyway. So it'll be there.
Cool.
Oh.
And he's fixed all the dead air, so it'll be much better to watch the replay than it was to watch it live.
I'll try to get rid of as much as I can, and when I can't, I'll put some music in to make it not so obvious. Before we get to the topics, why don't we go ahead and say hi to chat?
Alrighty. So over on Rumble, we have Q, we have Green Badger, who is indoors because he doesn't have the outdoors.
Just give me a second.
We have Jack Gunsky. We have WR Corsten, aka Brio Brias Hastic. We have Kivadam. We have Mr. Yes. Blue-eyed Screen joined in towards the end, and I think that might be everyone. Scrolling, lots of scrolling. Oh, JB joined right near the end, and I think that must be everyone. Yep, that's everyone.
Blue-eyed Scream has kind of become my Twitter buddy.
Yeah, I like Blue-eyed Scream.
Yes.
She's cool.
Jen, you want to do YouTube?
All right, and let me go back up to the top. And hello, Hammer.
Hello.
Hi, Rotten Corpse.
And Keith, you don't have to listen to it right now. You can listen to it after the stream or later. It's up to you. I'm just saying, don't feel like you've got to run out and listen to the stream on my channel. It's fine.
Hi, Terry. Hi, Kivadam. Hi, Jack. Hi, Mr. S. Hi, Costin. Hi, Cynic. Hi, Blue-eyed Scream. And short and easy and peasy.
Cool.
And Rotten Corpse asks a very good question. What's the temperature in Kelvin?
That would put it in the hundreds, wouldn't it? Isn't Kelvin like way off the
Yeah, Kelvin is something like 370 plus whatever it is in Celsius, something like that. It's basically from absolute zero. So instead of zero being the point where water freezes, it's absolute zero with Kelvin.
We'll quickly go over the topics for tonight. Everyone, our favorite historical figure, KJP, Corinne Jean-Pierre.
That is actually incorrect. KJP stands for Korean Juice Party, which is obviously Hammer's plans for the weekend. So I hope he enjoys it.
Yes. Has decided to leave the Democratic Party. I don't know where she's going because nobody wants her. So
no, I can't imagine anywhere would.
It's probably going to be independent. I doubt she'll be a Republican. Missing.
And just quickly, yes, Blue-Eyed Scream. The stream is still on my channel. I'm not going to delete it. I was joking that I would, so I would go back to having zero content on my channel, but I'm not going to delete it. I'll just leave it there if anyone wants to watch it.
It's the raw version will be there. An edited version will show up on Minions.
Exactly.
Get a little strength going here. Spend some time editing. Second topic, missing. This is kind of stolen from Matt Christensen. He did a video on this. Apparently, fentanyl is disappearing from U.S. cities.
And that's the second one you've gotten wrong. No, missing is actually referring to Jen's archery from her youth, as we discussed on the pre-show.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not just missing. That's violating.
Yes.
I mean, I still hit the target. I just hit them in the very, 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 very wrong spot.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So everyone's not sure why. Maybe it has something to do with closing the border. Could it be?
Maybe.
Oh my God, it couldn't be.
There's an outside chance.
I think it's that, but also kind of like what's his face's book. I think a lot of people are like, shit, it's going to come out really, really quickly that Biden was never in charge of anything, and who the fuck is going to be held accountable for anything. And if it was more than one person, well, then more than one person is going to be held accountable.
No one's going to be held accountable. No one's ever going to be held accountable for anything.
Well, no, obviously, in a realistic scenario, no one is, but hopefully, multiple people will. But
I don't have the faith in Pam Bondi that I had when she first stepped into the role. She's done basically nothing since she's been there.
No, I have no faith in any politicians whatsoever. I just assume that they're all bad.
I do have kind of faith in Trump because when he says he does it, he does it. I'm going to close the border. Border's closed. You know, he just doesn't fuck around. And that's why the reasons why the Democrats hate him, because you listen to the Democrats talk about him. And I didn't really want to get too much into Trump, but what the Democrats are complaining about, if you listen to them on CNN and MSNBC and all this kind of stuff, they don't hate that he's getting things done. They hate how he's getting things done.
Yes.
That's the complaint. Well, why is he doing it that way? Oh, boo-hoo, you're not in charge anymore. We're in charge whatever fucking way we want. The reason we care about this is because all we've gotten is platitudes for the last 100 years. We'll get to it. We'll take care of it. We'll get to it. And they never do.
Of course they won't.
Trump is done.
Yeah.
So,
no, of all the politicians, Trump is definitely in the top two between him and Javier Milei, just because Javier Milei is just so funny. But yeah, no, I do like Trump as far as by politician standards. I do like Trump. He's one of the better ones.
Trump has this moment of being funny too. I remember seeing a video of him on Twitter where he's talking behind a podium. Yeah. And the podium is not very stable. And as he's talking, the podium shifts and he says, "Look at this podium." And everyone kind of giggles and he says, "Yeah, there's something wrong here. It keeps leaning to the left." Yeah. And everyone kind of breaks out laughing. He's funny. He's a funny guy.
Trump is funny. Trump is definitely funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Javier Milei is just like, he's got the crazy
he's out there
going. It's hilarious.
Where? But even people like Rogan and stuff like that say that Trump's funny. Other comedians have said, Shane Gillis does an impersonation of him. If you just listen to impersonation, it's a guffaw. It's laughing like crazy, So
no, Trump can definitely be funny. He's very
he's so everyday,
he's a very good entertainer as well as being everything else. There's a reason they had him on the WWE back in the day.
Yeah.
He's a showman. He knows how to entertain a crowd.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. There's been a kind of a brouhaha with me and my friends talking about the assassination attempt because it's kind of gone off the radar. His issue at Butler. You know, he made 11 appearances that day, and the only one that was broadcast was Butler.
Funny that.
Isn't that funny? Did somebody know it was going to happen? And that's why they wanted to get it on film?
Almost certainly.
Oh, yeah, I mean, my friends...
Oh, wait, we're on YouTube. Almost certainly not.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going back and forth between our friends. We're all kind of like, oh, come on. This is too obvious. You know, but nobody's talking about it. And the guy's dead, so what are you going to do?
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing you can do now, but it is obviously suspicious that of all the ones to televise, they just happened to pick the one where he had an assassination attempt.
Yeah, because they thought it was going to be successful and they wanted to get it on film.
Absolutely.
CNN knew. Think about that.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, enough with conspiracy theories.
The final topic, I will just tell everyone. Blocked is referring to Jack Gunsky, who got blocked by Razorfist because Razorfist made a joke, and Gunsky pointed out that I had made the same joke several years ago, and this offended Razor deeply. And Razor actually called Gunsky a cunt. He thought better of it and deleted the tweet. But for like 2 or 3 minutes, there was a tweet from Razorfist saying, "I can't call you a cunt loudly enough," and then he blocked Gunsky. So there you go. That is an interesting topic. I don't know why Razor was so offended, but there you go.
That's because Razorfist's a little bitch, and you did nothing wrong, Jack. You should just write that down on. Actually, that's a badge. In the YouTube sphere nowadays, that's a badge. So hey, good for you.
Gunsky was saying that for him, this is his Eric Idle, because you know how I got blocked by Eric Idle, and that's my pinned tweet. But Gunsky, this is the same thing.
The funny thing is, these people that are big creators seem to have the most thinnest skin.
Oh, for sure.
Because I was blocked by Shu.
Really?
Yeah. I was blocked by Lauren Chen.
She's going in her videos. I wonder, what did you do to piss her off?
I have no idea. I just went to look one time and I was blocked. I was like,
there you
go. Didn't even talk to her.
That's bad.
She's had phases where she goes in and out of being a bit sensitive, and I don't want to blame it on being female. It could just be her audience. It could also be with her breakup with, I never thought that her fallout with Armored Skeptic went well, because I didn't dislike the guy. I didn't think he was a good person in a relationship. If that makes sense.
Probably.
I don't think they matched at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about Armored Skeptic or Shu, really, apart from their political positions that they've made public.
I just giggled when Nux called her "Call Me Mommy."
Yeah. That's a good nickname for her.
Well, she's a socialist, not a communist, but
she's also, I think, one of the more reasonable people on the left. So it's one of those things where, yes, you can hurt her feelings. That does happen, and I'm not trying to step on her toes either. But she's also more reasonable. That's what makes it oh, she blocked me.
I watch Shu's videos. I like her content quite a lot. She makes good stuff.
She can be pretty funny too. I give her credit for her jokes. Also, her party has gone nuts. I kind of do feel for some people on the left that are kind of a little bit closer to being normies, because they must really feel like, wow, our party's just a party of clowns. Really, it's a car clown show now.
Makes it really easy for Trump, because all he has to do is stay in the middle, and that forces them into weirdness. All he has to say is, men are men and women are women. No, they're not. All right, you're weird. You know.
Yeah, Gunsky says that Shu started as Armor Skeptic's girlfriend, and now she's far more relevant. I thought Shu started well before Armored Skeptic. Like
she did. She was bigger than Armored Skeptic by the time they got together.
Like I was watching Shu, and Armored Skeptic was the guy in the background that all the girls in the comment section would swoon over and like say how gorgeous he was. And then I found out that he actually had his own YouTube channel. But yeah, like I always thought Shu was always bigger than Armored Skeptic.
He just he helped to refine her channel a little bit. Like he is good. He is a little bit better than she is with structure. She fell into the category, and I'm not saying this to be rude. I do give her credit for her work, but titty privilege is a thing, and she is cute. She is cute. You know, I'm not into women, but yeah, I think she's cute.
No, I think she is very pretty. I think that is not as you say, not to diminish her actual abilities, but the fact that she's a very cute female definitely helped her success.
I mean, she probably would own up to that too. Like, it's no shade to her, actually. No. You know, it's just.
I think most female creators who are being honest understand that their looks contribute to their success. It's just the way media works.
She has a very pretty face. She's petite, clear skin, big eyes. And she seems to wear clothes that complement her really, really, really well.
Yeah,
and she does like weird stuff, like period stuff. You know, she'll wear like a gown, or she'll wear a baseball cap where she has a specific look that's different from all her other looks, kind of deal. So when you watch her, you're like, you know, oh, what's the new version of Shu I'm going to see this time?
Yes. Yeah. KVM is saying, has Jen ever hosted?
Not on my own.
She hasn't hosted the Wednesday show. I don't know if she's hosted other Minions nights.
For Minions, no. I've only really kind of just been on. I could. It's not like I haven't been shown. Like I might have to redo that with somebody, but
you probably have to talk to Reject to get permission again, because I think it times out after a while if you don't maintain it.
And I don't fuss about it because it hasn't been necessary. But like if I had to, I would. Like it's, you know, I wouldn't want to surprise Reject or anything. But yeah, if I had to, I would. You know, there's so many people in the Minions I could get a hold of. Like I'm not alone.
Yeah. And just to answer Mr. Yes, if you can put his Twitter handle in chat, I will check to see if I am blocked. But I don't know if he goes by TJ Kirk or Amazing Atheist or some weird thing. So yeah, just put his handle in the chat and I'll check for you.
So what happened to your foot, Terry?
My foot? What are you talking about? You mean my avatar?
Yeah. You're using your original avatar?
Oh, you know what it is? Because I logged in as myself into StreamYard to do last week. So I think if I were to log in as if I were to not log in, like if I to log out, then I would have access to the Kefki foot. But I didn't even think of that, so I didn't even notice.
I noticed it when we were first fired up and going into the Rumble show. I was like, oh, that's nostalgia. Haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, so that's what that is. Because I logged into StreamYard with my Google login in order to stream on my channel. That's the avatar that apparently looks like. I never had a reason to update it. But yeah, so I can just log out of StreamYard, and then next week I'll be back to normal.
There you go. Jen's got her flower.
Yep.
And you drew that, right?
No, I got help from Blue for that one.
Oh, that's from Blue? Okay.
Yeah. Sent him pictures of Alberta flowers, and that's what he sent me back, and then like 5 different varieties.
Do you have avatars that you drew for yourself?
I've just used pictures that I've drawn, or sometimes I've used photos that I've taken before. Yeah, I'm not opposed to using my own art. I really like the flower. It's a subtle way of screaming I'm from Canada without saying I'm from Canada.
Okay, so it turns out I can't check Gunsky's updated bio or whether or not I'm blocked by Mr. Yes, because Twitter is freaking out at me. It is saying, it forcibly logged me out, so I'm a bit concerned. We'll see what happens.
That's weird.
Yes, it is.
Keyword name is asking you which blue.
The blue from England? Blue or box? I think he goes by.
Is it BLU or BLUE?
BLUE. I just know that's his handle.
I've been wanting to get away from the actual hammer icon for mine and make me a person instead. So that's why the blue hoodie with no face. So I'm going to continue along that line. You guys won't probably ever see, except for maybe Christmas. I'll bring back the Christmas hammer that FAR made for me. But I want to try to stay away from that whole I'm a hammer. Hammer is just a name for me. It doesn't really relate to the fact that if there's a hammer involved.
Okay, so I have fixed Twitter, and it turns out that Keeve was messaging me. Like when she said she was bothering me in DMs, she was actually sending me DMs. I didn't realize because my Twitter was busted. So sorry about that. I did not see them.
Kieran was sending me DMs on Twitter while I was in the hospital. So that was nice to be able to talk to people. Yeah,
she's very sweet.
Yes. Made me smile.
Hey, that's good. It's good. So, also, you know what made me smile? We don't live in France.
That's always good.
Okay, what's that all about?
Oh, I've been making fun of them ever since I watched the riots, and I realized that they put all their liquor bottles into the same bins. Like, I understand it's recycling, but when they were doing the riots and like dumping the bins, and you're like, that's a sealed container with empty wine containers in it. And they don't think that the homeless are going to use that for fire.
Mm-hmm. I have no idea what's going on with France.
There was a whole bunch of riots. They had a football game and some team lost. I don't know the exact reasoning behind it, but they just started losing their shit. And it was like riots and pro-Palestine, and we're going to blow this shit up. And it was a street full of burnt out cars.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
This is like their version of football, not our football.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they get pretty crazy about that. You know,
they
get somebody from Manchester United and somebody from another team, and they just look at each other and bang, they're fighting right away. It's like, all right.
I don't mind teasing them a little bit for it, though. I'm like that.
It's surprising it actually comes to a fight. They didn't just run up and hold white flags in front of each other.
I also don't want us to do that. Like the thing with the beer bottles, we have the same problems that you guys do with homeless people, and yeah, they will burn stuff to like try to cook with.
What you need to do is you need to show them that TikTok where if you're homeless, just buy a house. It's like so obvious. How do these people not even think of that?
Have you heard about these tiny homes deal?
I've heard of them, yeah.
Yeah, they set up this area with 100 tiny homes.
Mm-hmm.
And you know who moved in? Not homeless people, drug addicts.
Well, probably homeless drug addicts.
Maybe. But drug addicts moved in, and now it's a big, huge drug compound.
Well, of course. Yeah, that was always going to happen.
That backfired.
That's obvious.
Yeah. That backfired. Not smart.
Well, I mean, I think Matt Walsh was making the point that for someone to be homeless in America, they need to do so many things wrong that these people cannot be rehabilitated. Like, they not only need to like lose their home for a start, but they also have to have no friends or family willing to take them in. Like, how do you alienate that many people that no one is willing to put up with you for you to end up on the street?
It's not too hard, actually. I can speak with perspective on this. If for some reason I couldn't pay the taxes on this house, they're gonna take it from me and put me out in the street. And I don't have anybody. It's just me.
I guess
maybe, but
I guess if you're old enough that like your parents have died, and that would make it a lot more difficult. But
yeah. So it's not as impossible as you would think. I make
a
sure
lot
that
of it.
Good.
A lot of it is also a lot of those people probably should have been in asylums a long time ago, and instead of actually doing that, we've kind of just shuffled them along from city to city to city to city, as though that hasn't made the problem worse. I'm not saying that's all of them. It's just there's when you go into a lot of those places, you can tell it's just mental illness everywhere. And if they're taking drugs, it's because they're not getting medicated properly.
Well, I mean, there's various quote unquote medications that I'm sure they're all very
self-medicating. Yeah,
they're very high on.
Self-medicating is not medicating. It's not. I mean, I'm sure they think it is, but
no. There's this lovely stuff called fentanyl. I'm sure that makes all your problems go away.
Well, that's actually our second topic. The fact that fentanyl is now become hard to find in major cities just because Trump closing the border. He's closing the border.
That's not only you can just do heroin instead. It's fine.
Not only is he closing the southern border, but he's working with Canada to close the northern border from drugs too. So there's just, I'm sure the cartels are trying to figure out, geez, now how do we get around this? So it's not over. I don't think it'll ever be over. But
no. You'll never get it to zero.
Yeah, but to see fentanyl drop by 40%,
it's a good thing. It is.
It's an amazing thing.
Like it's not just homeless. Like they're gonna do what they're gonna do. That's not to say I've given up on them. It's just reality is what it is. It's people who aren't prepared for that shit. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, college kids are stupid. They like to try new things even though they're stupid. It's the age of exploration. You're expecting a speed pill, not a fentanyl pill.
Yeah.
It'll stop that kind of stuff. Fentanyl is one of those ones, like we had train sections that were shut down because a homeless person had passed away from fentanyl, because when they smoke it gets everywhere. So a little old lady goes to sit in a booth and all of a sudden they've got residue from fentanyl on the booth and they're dead.
It's that powerful.
Yeah. It's that kind of fucked up shit. So like anything that they do to get rid of that stuff is just better for everyone overall. If they're going to get high, they're going to get high. They'll just find something else.
I remember them saying that they stopped 68 pounds of fentanyl from coming across the southern border. And after they said that, he says that's enough to kill 200 million people.
Yeah. Like I said, that sounds like a lot.
So yeah, maybe I had not understood just how powerful this stuff is.
Well, unfortunately, they'll just have to go back to heroin. I'm sure they'll find a way to manage. They'll just have to take more heroin. I'm sure it'll balance out in the end.
What's the cheapest one? Is it meth? That's the cheapest drug?
Probably.
So I think if I recall fentanyl being described to me, it's in the morphine family. It's just significantly stronger than morphine.
It's an opioid. The morphine, heroin, fentanyl, they're all part of the opium family.
Hopefully they don't start smoking flowers again.
Yeah, I mean, opium dens were a thing in the past.
Well, I'm glad to see fixing something again, something that he really wasn't promoting that much. By comparison to some of his other things, because, but you kind of have to kind of roll it in. He says, I'm going to close the border, which means getting rid of fentanyl as well, and sex trafficking and illegals and all that kind of stuff. So it's all rolled into one.
See, I mean, I know it's not that, but when I hear sex trafficking, I think of like two teenagers having sex in the back seat of the car.
No, they are bringing in, you know, a lot of young people to do that. So, I mean, they're getting molested before they even get here. So
that is pretty bad.
Pretty terrible. The poll is out. Those who missed the Rumble pre-show, music is from Queen, Bicycle Race, Killer Queen, Under Pressure, You're My Best Friend. This should be...
a tough one? Because they're all good songs.
Yeah. They're not only they're all good songs, but they're all as good as each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, they're all excellent.
Let's see how this goes. Do you have a favorite? Don't tell me what it is, but do you have one?
No, I mean, there's obviously I voted for something, but I could have easily voted for. I mean, maybe not Bicycle Race. I like Bicycle Race, but I don't put it on the same level as the other three. But yeah, no, I mean, I would be happy with any of these 4 songs winning.
Jen, do you have a favorite?
I don't want to change the poll or anything, but when I get
don't tell me what it is. Just tell me if you have one.
I'm just inclined to get stuck on a song. Like I kind of have Under Pressure stuck in my head, and I have since I watched Happy Feet 2. But I like all of them. Like they're all easily stuck. Like they're easy to get stuck in the head.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The thing is, we could do another Queen next week, and I can come up with 4 more songs that we haven't done already.
Easy.
Oh.
And it's a good thing too, because there's not a lot of bands that start with Q.
No, I don't think Queensryche really fits in with our program very well.
It's okay. It was good music. You know, it was a good time.
Oh yeah. And the other one was Quincy Jones, where I don't know any of his stuff. I've heard of him, but I don't know anything that he's done.
Yeah, like I said, I've only known him as a music producer. He did the We Are the World thing with Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones.
Okay, so I already hate him.
Why? You liked Michael Jackson?
We Are the World? No. Michael Jackson, yes. We Are the World? No.
Quincy Jones, top songs. If I know any of these.
I have to respond to Rotten real quick because it's easier, but it's not so much that they'll try smoking dandelions. You guys had a kid try to inject themselves with a crushed monarch butterfly, as though the orange wasn't a dead giveaway that they're poisonous.
That's not smart.
No, he didn't make it.
I'm not surprised.
I mean, I know there's no cure for stupidity, but like, I mean,
I think he found the cure for stupidity. He will not be stupid ever again.
I just thought that was stuff that you learned in like maybe later elementary. You know, like some animals are poisonous because they're super colorful.
Yeah, and Gunsky says that Quincy Jones did the Austin Powers theme song. Okay, then I've heard one thing by him, because I have seen the Austin Powers movie.
Well, I did a quick lookup, and I don't recognize any of his music.
That's probably a bad sign.
Yeah, Just Once, stuff like that. Strawberry Letter, 100 Ways, Everything Must Change, Killer Joe, If I Ever Lose This Heaven, I'll Be Good for You, or Good to You. Maybe that one. But I thought that was a rock song.
Yeah. And Mr. Yes says, We Are the World sounds too preachy. Much too preachy. Oh my God, I can't stand that song.
Well, he was, like I said, he was just the producer on it. They wanted to bring somebody in who could coordinate. You know, he didn't actually perform, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I mean, like I said, I've heard the name. I know he's a music producer, but I couldn't tell you anything he's done other than apparently We Are the World and the Austin Powers theme song.
He did do a lot of backup vocals for a lot of Jackson stuff. Like he was back up on Billie Jean.
Okay.
He was back up with Rock With You. He was back up with that. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Beat It.
If you want to use Quincy Jones as a proxy to play more Michael Jackson music, I'm going to allow it.
Yeah, he was involved in Thriller too, so he was involved in a lot of Michael's stuff.
Yeah. Well, Gunsky's saying you'd know him better by his producing career, like Thriller. Yeah. Right, you want to put Thriller on the poll? You have my blessing.
Yeah.
Well, Michael did a lot of like in and out of family music. You know, he'd go from his own stuff to like family friendly because he was a Disney kid too.
Michael Jackson was great. He was my favorite musician when I was like a little kid, like 8 or 9 years old. I was absolutely fanatical about his stuff. And that's actually why I liked Weird Al, because the first Weird Al songs I heard were Fat, which is a parody of Bad, and Eat It, which is obviously a parody of Beat It.
Yeah.
So that's how I discovered Weird Al, is because he was making joke songs about Michael Jackson, and I thought it was awesome that he was taking Michael Jackson and changing the words.
It's one of those like things that you look back on and you're like, hey, Michael, if you'd lived, maybe you could have just done a collab with the guy, just like done a full-on special song with just him.
That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so. I think Michael had a sense of humor, so his own, obviously, but
yeah. But no, Weird Al was one of my favorite moments in a TV show in Australia. It's called Spicks and Specs, and it's like a music quiz show. When one of the segments is they will play the music without the words, and you have to identify the song. And then someone hears the music, buzzes in, Like a Surgeon, Weird Al Yankovic. And then the host is like, I think I have to give that to you. Because obviously it was Like a Virgin was the correct answer. He's like, I technically, you are right.
The final topic we didn't get to was blocked.
Yes.
You guys know the Solomon guy? He's the guy who threw Molotov cocktails at people at the protest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did you know he lit himself on fire too?
Oh dear.
Yeah.
That was not smart.
Anyway, Trump decided we're just going to deport him and his family. Judge stopped in and stopped the deportation of the family.
Oh yeah. I think I heard about that.
This has got to stop. These district judges just stepping in and running the country. You can't have it happen. You can't.
No, not at all. I mean, especially like deporting illegal people. That's yeah. You should do that. You shouldn't have judges saying, we'll protect you from the law.
I think I mentioned this during the Rumble portion. We can get some AI and have it detect all the people who are illegal, and just get them all at one swell swoop. Put 100,000 on a barge ship or something like that, and just run it aground in El Salvador somewhere. Okay, everybody get off.
Yeah.
Welcome to your new country.
Yes, I think the policy for illegal immigration should be: you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Well, what bothers me is we're trying to give these people due process. And I understand the whole concept behind habeas corpus, but there are levels to habeas corpus. Some people get more things, some people get less things. That's how it's written in the law. People who are illegal aliens, they only have to be adjudicated by a judge. You do not have to go to court. All a judge has to do is pick up their paper, look at their information, and say, nope, you go. And that's it.
Yeah. I think you should just say to them, look, if you want your habeas, we'll turn you into a corpus. Now get the fuck out.
Yeah. So I understand due process, but that doesn't mean that you get to spend the next 6 months in a court case or longer trying to
I thought
fight
you were going to say the next 6 minutes, and because he's just joined us in chat.
Oh, hey, 6.
And yes, he is a better singer than 75% of the people he parodies. That is quite accurate.
He did, was that a band? The singer killed himself.
Nirvana?
Yeah.
Yes.
Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah, the Weird Al song is Smells Like Nirvana, and yes. It's good. He makes fun. He makes fun of how incomprehensible Kurt's singing can be.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a shame.
And yeah, Blue White Panthers, this is lawfare. It's ridiculous. Yeah. The judges are not supposed to be doing what they're doing, obviously. I think it all goes jail.
You're a district judge. You take care of your district. That's it.
That's kind of implied by the name.
Yeah, you would think. Oh, I don't know what the deal is, but something has to be done because according to the Alien Enemies Act, Trump has full control and it cannot be interfered with judicially.
I'm okay with them being dealt with legally. It's something that Asmongold said about the protesters and the people who surround the ICE cars or the people that get involved. All of them should be put in jail. All of them.
Yes.
Like, it's not just the people coming across the border. They're not just the only issue. It's also the people across the border here who've lost their mind. They've lost the plot. And you guys voted for this. They need to get over the fact that they lost.
They did.
That was democracy. I'm sorry that you lost and it hurts your feelings. You know, the Trump people felt that way 5 years ago when they lost. You know, they were kind of like, oh shit, we're going to be screwed for the next 5 years. Here's the thing though, you're doing just fine. Not a lot of things have really changed. Like the economy, that hasn't really changed. Yeah, things are a little bit tougher for our side of the border, but that's Canada's problem, not yours.
Yeah. It's I do think it's funny that the left hates Asmongold as much as they do because he's on the left.
He is lefty.
He believes in universal basic income. Like that's a pretty far left position.
He is an example of a lefty who is currently in the position of being pushed to the other side because he's so sick of bullshit.
He's a lefty who has still retained the ability to be honest. That's what Asmongold is.
Any of those left.
Firmly on the left, but he's willing to be honest and say, you know,
this is wrong.
This is too far. This is ridiculous. And like,
he's kind of like Mar then.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
He's willing to admit that there are times when he agrees with what Trump's doing, and he's willing to admit that he finds Trump funny, and that's enough for the lefties to hate him. And it's like, a lot of people on the left think he's funny. A lot of people think he's retarded, but like Trump is funny.
He is. Trump is very funny.
Did you get a chance to hear Mar's summation of his visit to the White House?
Not full.
No, I had bits and pieces of it. I don't think I listened to the entire thing.
You should watch it. It's pretty not what I expected. I expected him to make fun of and poke at Trump the entire time, but he didn't make fun of him at all. He was deadly serious when he talked about it, and he's like, you know, you have to understand that my connection with my audience requires me to be absolutely honest. And he says, I don't care if this fluffs your feathers or not. This is how it happened. This is what happened to me. The man was perfectly gracious.
Yeah, that's the bit I saw. I saw him say that.
And I was like, wow, he's going to be dead before he gets into his car.
Oh yeah. They don't like you thinking for yourself. You either embrace the leftist doctrine 100%, or you are evil. And J.K. Rowling is my favorite example of that.
I think there is a faction on the left that is behind Mar, you know, who aren't Looney Tunes, you know, who can listen to Mar say something and say, oh well, you know, I can see that.
Yeah.
You know, they're reasonable people. Most of them aren't. The big difference, in my opinion, between the left and the right, the biggest thing, the right believes that the left are nuts.
Yes, and the left thinks that the right are evil.
Exactly. Have I mentioned this before?
Well, it's a common phrase. I've seen a lot of people say the same thing.
And that's why you can't get liberal people to come on conservative shows, because they don't want to get too close to the devil.
Yeah. No, it makes perfect sense once you realize that distinction. It explains why the left is so insular and why they consider even acknowledging that Trump has a point to be sacrilege.
Yeah. Did you see that trigonometry episode where they had a female feminist come on the show for an hour and 20 minutes?
I've never watched a full episode of trigonometry. I've seen clips. I might have even seen clips of this particular feminist, but I've never watched the entire.
She's typical fat feminist, you know, easily offended kind of thing. And they were talking about how Australia was put together and how people moved in that time period when they were colonizing Australia. And Konstantin Kisin said, well, you know, the people coming into Australia, they were technically superior, technologically superior.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And she just stopped, dropped mouth, and looked at me. You mean to say that those people were better than the Aboriginals? And he's like, no, it's not that they were better. That has nothing to do with it. I'm saying they had a technical advantage. But she could not let it go. She was completely broken up, shaking, you know, all upset and all this kind of stuff. And he pointed out to us, this is the reason why we can't talk. You have a book saying that we should talk, and here you on the show, and you can't talk.
No, I did see that clip where Constantine was saying they had a technological advantage, and that just triggered her to high heaven.
Yeah, yeah. It was not a bad conversation up to the point, because I was watching the whole thing. I just sat there, a new version, a new thing of trigonometry. Let me see what this one's all about. Because some of the ones that they've had lately have been really, really, really good.
I just really don't like that Francis Foster guy. I just really.
But he doesn't really talk that much, so you can pretty much ignore him. But they had a guest on who's talking about World War II. Did I mention this before? It's not the full release. That doesn't happen until, what's today, the 3rd? No, today's the 4th. So tomorrow they're going to release a full version, which is like an hour and a half, but they release a 10-minute snippet from it. And he's talking about how World War II actually really was at the time, because there's a lot of reimagining things in text and stuff like that distort what really happened at the time. And he says, no, that's a myth. This is what really happened. No. This is what really happened. He's like, what you don't understand is Germany never really had a chance. They had some technological advantages, he says, but both Britain and America and the Soviets realized that they could easily overwhelm Germany at any point. So that's what they started to do. The number of airplanes that the British were building compared to the Germans was like 6 to 1. No, they weren't jets. They weren't jets because towards the end of the war, the technology for the Germans increased, so they actually had jet engines. But by that point, there was 5 jets and 400 regular non-jets. You can't stop that. You know, you're just overwhelmed.
Right. I heard a short little story from Batman. It's a clip that he got from somebody based off of that, and I'm sharing it with you because it's funny as fuck. But when they were introducing the jet planes, the first guy to do it decided to dress up like a gorilla. And so the other pilots were watching this guy in a gorilla suit smoking a stogie, and they go back and talk to, like, basically they had in-base therapists. And it was the part where they were explaining that the plane didn't have a propeller that got them sent to the shrink. Yeah.
Yeah, jet engines.
I just thought that was, I could see somebody actually doing that. Like, I don't know if that story is legitimately true, but I could see an American being like, I'm going to fuck with you guys.
Yeah. America didn't play the part that all Americans think we did. America thinks that we came in as the cavalry at the last second and we swung the war. And that's not actually very true. We helped a lot, but not really much against Germany by comparison. The people who took all the damage against Germany was the Soviet Union. It was like 60,000 German soldiers and 250 million or some outrageous number of Soviet troops died. I mean, they just threw people after people after people after people, just overwhelmed them. Really, the Soviet Union and the British Air Force were the 1-2 punch that really got it. The only thing that we really came in and did where everyone went, ooh, was dropping bombs. We dropped 2 nuclear bombs. And when the Axis, this is what they were called, saw that, they were like, okay, I'm done. Never mind. You know? Yeah. So we didn't really lose the number of people that everybody else did. So there's a lot of misinformation there. I always thought, oh, well, we're America. Yeah, we just came in at the end and we just blew everybody away. Americans kill everybody. But that's not really what happened. I mean, it's not like we shrunk from the charge, but we weren't really the deciding factor. They were already going to lose in 1941. It didn't finish until 1944. So they knew late 41, early 42 that they were losing. So us coming in,
I think that 45 is the year the war ended, isn't it?
Technically, yeah.
Okay.
So
because yeah, when you said 44, it's like, no, that doesn't sound right. I'm almost certain it was 45.
Yeah. So yeah, I even, you know, American pride, you know, my American pride. I'm American. We're the world leader.
Oh,
we do everything, and we're the man, and all that kind of stuff.
If there's any time to feel pride, it's this month. I've been told.
Yeah. Even to be honest with you, that's not even happening really. If you look at some of the
I know
corporations that are out there,
they're not doing the pride stuff. Thing.
No, not a lot of pride stuff on. I think BMW is doing it, and like 2 other people, and that's it. So it's not like
I've seen those tweets where they're saying 2024, and it's like the rainbow colored logo. 2025 is not.
Yeah, the you know who's not doing it that you think would? Skittles.
Okay.
Yeah, Skittles didn't do it this year.
Because they've even got the rainbow thing as part of their branding.
Taste the rainbow. Yeah. Yeah. But they didn't do white. They didn't do white Skittles.
They've been losing sales in terms of candy. Like a lot of times, that stuff will just sit there until it goes on sale, and then maybe people will buy it because people still like candy. They've just losing it across the board. And the other thing with putting a label on it like that, it's kind of like the Christmas stuff. You know when it's old.
Yeah. Yeah. What they did with Skittles, people don't realize. What they did was Skittles are colored with white letter S on them, I believe. So what they do for Pride Month is they make the Skittle white and the printing colored. They swap it. And I don't think they did that this year.
I have no idea. I haven't heard anything about them doing it.
Because that's white supremacist Skittles, right?
Yes. I remember the jokes about that.
Never happy with these people, you know?
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I mean, we've covered all the topics. We don't really need to talk about KJP again this time. Yeah. It just tickles me that she's leaving. Like, I don't see the point. What's the point? You're not.
She wants to be in the headlines for a bit before.
I guess you're not kidding anybody. We know that you're just an out and out liar.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I think you're right though. I think it's going to come down to people who knew he was screwed, because who would know better if someone's screwed than his own press secretary?
True.
It's got to be the closest person to him besides family.
Yeah.
She sees him every day so that she can talk at the podium. So who saw him the most? Probably the press secretary.
It's the only thing I can think of is like people closest to him. Well, who's closest to him? Well, there's Jill, there's Kamala, there's the press secretary. It's going to be his inner circle, right? So
right.
You knew. Sorry, bitch, you knew.
I knew she was trouble day one when she said that she was a historic figure. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Get out of here. You're not historic as shit. It's okay to be called that by somebody else, but to call yourself, that's so entitled, so self-centered.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, everyone knows that she only got the job because black lesbian. Like that's right. Her qualification for the job. Yep. It doesn't matter that she's terrible at it. She's a black lesbian, so that's good enough.
DEI right there.
Yeah. I mean, I think even Biden admitted it, that basically he only hired her because she was a black lesbian.
Yeah, it's a real thing for the black ladies. He got Kamala in there too.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he even admitted that Kamala was a DEI hire.
Ketanji Brown.
Yes, another one.
Yep.
It's more like who wasn't a DEI hire.
You know what I did notice in the last half of Biden's presidency? He stopped sniffing little girls.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
I didn't notice that.
Because he was grabbing little girls across the chest and sniffing their hair and all that kind of stuff. But
he was doing that a lot, yeah.
Yeah, but in the last half, he just kind of stopped. I don't know if somebody finally said, look, man, stop doing that. You're a creep, you know, or if they got through to him, but.
Or maybe he was so senile that he wasn't attracted to them anymore.
I don't know. No. So he's got, was it colon cancer now?
Some kind of cancer.
Prostate cancer?
Prostate cancer sounds right. I'm pretty sure it's that.
Yeah. That's a thing for American male, or not American, but that's a thing for males.
Men in general, yeah.
Yeah, more white men than black men. So that's our problem.
Yeah.
All you have to really do is be willing to let someone do a colonoscopy on you. I've had
Which
2.
I'm not.
Well, I've had 2, and I don't know if you are familiar with the process, but
I don't know the details, but I mean, isn't that where they put the finger up the butt and feel your prostate?
No, that's a prostate exam. I'm talking about colonoscopy.
Oh, they put a camera up there to look.
Yeah, but the process is not what you think. They give you Gatorade and a couple of drinks that make you empty out your entire bowel, so there's nothing in there anymore. Then you go to the hospital and they put you on a bed and they put you out, and then you wake up and it's done.
As I've mentioned before, I don't trust doctors or hospitals or anyone of that industry. So it'll probably mean I die younger, but I mean,
it's a pretty safe procedure. There's no cutting or anything like that. They just stick a very, very small camera up there.
Yeah, no, but my point is that if I went to the doctor and they said you need a colonoscopy, I would be thinking, do I, or is that just the most expensive procedure you can justify prescribing for me?
Yeah, it's not expensive. It's not even surgery. It's a procedure.
Yeah.
So, from what I understand, the whole planet covers it. Just about every insurance on the planet covers it because it's preventative.
Yeah. But I just have that little trust in the medical industry that, yeah, if they said, you know, don't stick knives into electrical sockets, you're like, maybe there's something to this idea. Maybe that's giving me superpowers. I'm gonna go try that.
When I was a very young child, my dad was an electrician besides being a steel worker. And when I was a very young child, I used to have not Matchbox cars. They were track cars, Tyco. Tyco cars, where you put them on a little track and they'd have a metal rails with a center slot cars kind of deal. You'd have a little controller in your hand that would speed up or slow down the little tiny motor that was inside.
Yeah.
And one night I was just thinking to myself, well, it goes pretty fast on the track with the power coming off the generator, because it was a step down generator, because those little tiny things don't really need much. I was like, I wonder what it would be like if I hooked it right up to the wall. And it just went pop.
Yeah.
And blew up and went over my shoulder. And it was completely melted and destroyed. I was like, well
now maybe you know.
Maybe that was too much for it. I could have killed myself, you know.
That was a successful science experiment. You learned something that day.
If I would have slid off the bed and landed on my back, and those wires are on my back, I would have been dead because I couldn't get off of them. I was being electrocuted. So,
but you survived and you learned. So
I did learn.
Science done right is my takeaway.
Probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, probably not. Not again, anyway. You've already got the results. You don't need.
Yeah, that might be a bad thing. the fact that the motor that was affected looked like just plastic and wires just melted and blackened and just goo. It's like, oh, it didn't work. It did try for like a very split second to go as fast as humanly possible, but it spun enough to create a gyrational force. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Probably.
Yeah. So it popped up out of my hands because it spun so fast. It became a gyroscope. It went right over my shoulder. And then I learned house voltage is that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Yep. And funny that years later in this house that I'm in now, not the house that I was in when I grew up, but my dad was an electrician, and he wanted to impart to me how dangerous it was. And he took a small fly swatter, and he was working on the electricity in one of our bedrooms here. And he pulled me next to him, and he says, "Now watch this." And he used the plastic fly swatter to push neutral or ground into hot.
Oh, okay.
Huge blue spark and a loud snap. And he says, "That's the electricity in this house in every socket." So my heart was just up in my chest. I was like, "Holy crap!" He's like, "Yep, be very careful."
So if you want a real thrill, this is how you play with it.
My dad was good about that. He prepped me because there were things that he knew. He knew electricity well. He took all these classes. It was never really his job. He was a speed operator for a steel mill. But he was a man with 8th grade education who could do algebra in his head.
Yeah, but I think it was a very smart idea for him to show you why you don't play with the socket. Like if you just say don't do it, most kids, especially boys, are going to be like, "What does Dad know?"
Yeah, I'll do it. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah. So by showing you this is what will happen, is like, yeah, I don't want to mess with that.
Yeah. He was real good about that kind of stuff.
We have hit our time, so we probably should look at wrapping up.
That's good, because I'm going to have to end this one by saying this is why women live longer.
That's fair. That is fair.
I guess I should probably end the poll.
So I had to.
And Under Pressure is the winner with 41% of the vote. And not a single person voted for You're My Best Friend.
Which is sad, because that was the one I liked, and that's why it wasn't chosen.
I like that one too.
It's a good song. I like the song, but no one voted for it.
Yeah. Such is my lot. It never is. All right. Well, unless you guys have something else, we can go.
I'm good.
All right. Bring up my outro. What did I do? I didn't delete my outro, did I?
Hopefully not. That would be bad.
Where is it? Topics, music poll, intro. Where's my outro at? Might have to wing this. That's weird.
And Blue Eyed Scream says she can't believe that she's not tired yet. The promise of Queen music has kept you awake. You can't sleep until you hear Under Pressure.
I can see if I saved my outro anywhere. It could be gone. I guess I'll just have to wing it until I can recreate it. Well, let's get the music going at least. Everybody may not realize this, but this is not actually Queen.
Yeah.
This is a Queen tribute band. So see if you can pick out how they're different from the original. It's so close to me that I can't really tell. So quick and dirty out, because I can't find my outro. Thanks everybody for coming out tonight. Minions will be back next Wednesday as normal. Don't forget to check out the Rumble stream for music before the show. And we'll see you again next week. Have a great night, everybody.
Have a good one, guys.